Yo, I want to talk about Magic the Gathering in 2025. And actually, that's a lie, I sort of don't, I'm not excited. You saw the thumbnail, I actually think the year looks a bit miserable. But you know what? People are always complaining about how negative I am and I've never got anything nice to say. And they're right, there's a lot about Magic that I don't like right now. So I do complain. But if you look at this video's release date, you'll see for me it's not the new year yet. I've still got time for a New Year's resolution. So today, I'm going to promise you two things. First, I'm going to take this video as an opportunity to try and expel all that negativity within me, so that when these sets release, maybe I'll moan less about them then because I've got it all out of my system here. With any luck, I'll be more positive and able to focus on the good bits, if there are any. See, look, I'm already doing it. Be gone, negativity! So, promise the first, my New Year's resolution will be to try and be more positive about these sets when they release. If I think they're deserving of it. Which I don't think they will be, I think they look bad. And that's as positive as you're getting from me today. And the second thing I promise is that I'm going to keep this video quick, because I do have a habit of going on. I love this game, and as you can probably tell by the runtime of some of my videos, I could talk about it all day. But, considering today I'm basically just listing things I already don't like about sets that aren't even out yet, I'm wary that I'm going to drag you down. And I don't want to do that, so promise the second, no tangents. And I'll aim to keep this video to 10 minutes tops. Wish me luck. So here we go, Innistrad Remastered, release date the 24th of January. And this is the set I'm actually looking forward to the most this year. As you may be able to tell from some of my previous videos, I love Innistrad. I'm a big old nerd for its setting and its lore. I love the characters and I love the narrative, I love the tone and I love the gothic aesthetic, I love the hand-painted art and I love the world. I love Innistrad. This remaster is going to be a combination of cards from every expansion focused on Innistrad, which includes 3 blocks, Original Innistrad, Shadows over Innistrad, and our recent return Most Cool double feature. And much like Ravnica Restored before it, we'll also see included in the set other cards which do depict Innistrad but weren't originally from those blocks, like Edgar Markov here who was from a Commander product. Weirdly, this set will also include cards that have never had anything to do with Innistrad before, but have been reskinned with new art to fit the world. Not sure how they can consider it a remaster when it includes new elements previously unseen on the plane, but I actually, selfishly, quite like their inclusion, because I'm always in favour of more Innistrad cards. However, time to moan, because I will also acknowledge that continuing to reskin cards in this way going forward may lead to even more homogenization between sets. Magic's flavour blending of its worlds into one unremarkable and uniform conglomerate is something I've complained about previously, especially when it came to the Omen paths being opened in the narrative. Because in short, by mixing all of the planes, their setting and now their cards together, we start to lose what makes each plane feel special and unique as they all bleed into one. Looking at that mass hysteria again, they could have just designed a functional reprint or even a brand new card. But they didn't, as instead they reskinned this card from Mirrodin. Meaning, even though only marginally for now, Mirrodin has become less unique as its cards have been taken and reskinned to be a part of Innistrad. And if this continues with more cards being reskinned, the issue will stop being only marginal as more and more of each set's identity is divided up and spread amongst the others. Remasters will start to feel pointless as every card and every mechanic will become equally as likely to appear in any expansion regardless of setting. And to that I say boo, because I like each set having a distinct vibe and playstyle. Another issue I have, the price. I don't care it's a premium set, it's mostly reprints of old cards. I don't care some packs contain serialized cards. I think they suck. But look, forget the collector boosters, which are always a ridiculous price. $7 a pack just to play the game? What do you want, a kidney too? $7 for 14 cards, bare minimum 6 commons, but statistically more likely 9 commons and a basic land. So in essence, $7 for 4 maybe playable cards and 10 decades old chaff. Are you having a laugh? Anyway, I promised I'd be quick, so let's move on to Aetherdrift. Release date is Valentine's Day. It's a race through the multiverse with Akira references, for some reason, and until it convinces me otherwise I'm going to assume it's yet another set where the world building amounts to hey look it's characters you already know but wearing a silly hat. If it looks like Thunder Junction and it quacks like Thunder Junction, do you know what I mean? And if 2024 taught me anything, it's not to engage with any marketing or promotional material WotC put out before a set's release, because what they say a set is going to be and what a set actually is doesn't always line up. So yes, I know they've put out Planeswalkers guides, but I'm going to learn my lesson and not read them yet, as WotC has taught me to do. So is my assumption fair? I would say based on their track record, yes. Also, I've said it before, but I'm kind of compiling all of my thoughts here, so I'll say it again. But I'm genuinely worried that the prize for this race is going to involve giving Nissa her Planeswalker spark back. Which, if that's the case, why even take her spark away if they're just going to immediately retcon it back again anyway? Do they not care enough about their own lore to explore the consequences of the narrative actions that no one forced them to take? Why isn't she bald? Why do that if it means nothing? WotC, you can't ask us to care about your emotional reveals and narrative payoffs if you keep proving that they mean nothing and will sometimes be undone within the same set. Time Red, remember, no tangents. Aetherdrift can also huff farts because what even is this? Please note that starting with Aetherdrift, play booster boxes will contain 30 play boosters. Oh yeah? Will they be cheaper because of it? We'll see, won't we? I'll certainly be paying attention. But hang on, I thought the play booster boxes had 36 packs for a reason. Let's look at this post, What Are Play Boosters, and see what head designer Mark Rosewater has to say. Scroll down and... Play booster display boxes, however, will have 36 boosters like draft booster displays did, as 2 boxes are exactly enough for 3 8-player drafts. So 72 packs is the right amount of packs for draft. How do you get to 72 with boxes of 30, Mark? Is this one of those predatory game premium currency tactics of making you buy more than you need just to get the thing that you want, Mark? Or is it the draft has just become a 6-player format and even then you'll still have some leftover packs that, whoops, I guess you paid full price for, Mark? Can't wait to watch them ignore those questions. Next up is Tarkir Dragonstorm, release date the 11th of April. It's a bit early to have many thoughts on it, but according to this preview panel at Gen Con, the foundations of Magic's next era, they say it's going to be the best bits of every Tarkir set combined into one. So basically the wedge gameplay of Khans as well as dragons all at once. The clans won't be as they were though, as the timeline isn't being rewritten once again, which means I guess there'll technically be new clans with new people picking up the mantle of the old ones, which may feel the same and use the same names and iconography, but without actually being the same. I don't know, I hope they do that Fallout trick that New Vegas did with Khazar's Legion, where it feels like all the members only have a vague understanding of the long dead culture they think they're adopting and are attempting to imitate by playing dress up. I want to see them make mistakes. I want to see names like Jeskai misspelled as Jetski, Abzan members waving Sultai's banner, or Teamer cards with Mardu's casting costs, as all these recreated factions don't quite have all the information of how it used to be and so are having to fill in some gaps with varying degrees of success. I don't think it will be that though, as that's too interesting. Instead I suspect it will just be the clans are back exactly as they were, with all the same old characters back in their old positions once again as if nothing has changed and continuity never progressed. An eternal status quo. I'm also concerned that WotC felt the need to point out during this panel that they worked with cultural consultants on the set. Realistically, I think they should work with cultural consultants on every set, but an alarm bell does ring for me whenever they feel the need to point out that that's what they've done, because that seems to be an indication that there's something in this set they're worried will come across as not okay, and they want to get ahead of it by saying, no, it's cool we've done this actually, we worked with cultural consultants. Hey WotC, I don't know what it is yet, but maybe if you're worried enough about whatever it is to preload an excuse as to why it's okay, then maybe just don't do that thing in the first place, yeah? Again, looking at you, Thunder Junction, with your life here didn't matter till the settlers came narrative, and well, we did want characters based on First Nations peoples in our cowboy set, but we felt icky about making them natives, so actually this time they're the colonizers. We worked with cultural consultants. Yeah, good stuff. Hey, sign up to my Patreon. I promised I'd keep this episode to 10 minutes. I know I'm going to fail, but this is it. This is the plug. I'm poor and YouTube's monetization sucks. Please sign up to my Patreon. Link in the description. I need your help and support, please. Right, next I'm going to group Final Fantasy, release date the 13th of June, Spider-Man, release date sometime in Q3 of 2025, and whatever this unannounced Universes Beyond set is, my money's still on Skyrim, release date who knows but presumably before the end of the year. First off, these sets are legal in all formats. That's madness. I've seen so many people celebrate this decision as a good thing for Modern, because now Modern won't have busted cards printed directly into the format. But ask yourself, do you really believe that WotC are capable of laying off the power creep? Because it seems to me that now when the busted cards come out, they're just going to be a problem in every format. Second, half of Magic is Universes Beyond, and Lorwyn needed to be bumped back to 2026 to make room for more. This blows. You may be fine with it, you may not care about Magic setting and lore, but I do, and many others do too. And I don't want to play a mashup crossover game. I want to play Magic the Gathering without being made to think about SpongeBob. And if you're about to say in the comments where you can just skip those sets, don't buy it if you don't like it, then oh boy do I have a video for you, link in the description. But I think my issue with Universes Beyond is really underlined by the Spider-Man set in particular. Magic is a 5-colour system, sometimes there are top-down design sets like my beloved Innistrad, where they think of a cool idea first and then they design mechanics for that world that fit both their cool concept and Magic's existing game structure, and sometimes like we saw with the original Kaladesh, the mechanics come first and then the world springs to life from there. Either way, both the mechanics and the world are designed in tandem to create a unified whole. It's how Magic's been able to make Egyptian myth, Greek legend and whatever Alara was doing feel like they could belong together side by side in one game. They're all designed around and supported by a multi-faction 5-colour system. Spider-Man is one guy. Yes, he has some friends, but the majority of characters that Magic will have to pull from are just villains. How are these two groups going to fit into that system of 5 colour factions? How's it going to work when Spider-Man's red-blue but Black Cat is green-black, so they don't work particularly well together in the same deck? Like, why not? They team up in the comics. If that happens, it's a failing of the representation of Spider-Man's world because the system representing it wasn't designed for a comic book good versus evil setup. World and gameplay can't be built together to bring out the best in each other because the world is already built. So the Magic aspect is just going to have to bend or break to fit itself around it. Something here will have to give. If Spider-Man wanted a card game, just make a Spider-Man card game. Both Spider-Man and the game would be better suited and represented for it. Ask yourself, why the hell is the Spider-Man set going to have cards called instant sorceries and enchantments? Is Spider-Man a wizard? Is webbing magic? How many swamps, forests and mountains do you think there are in New York? And yes, I know there's examples of actual Magic cards that don't necessarily make sense when you think about them as spells, but first off, I dislike those too. And second, at least they're the exception and not from an entire set like that. Spider-Man, and to some degree every Universes Beyond set, is going to be an entire set like that. I saw Civil War where Iron Man and Black Panther joined forces and teamed up. Shame Magic isn't a very good game system designed to represent that. Right, I promised this would be 10 minutes and I think I failed. But luckily our last set to talk about is Edge of Eternities, release date on the 1st of August. And I don't really have anything to say about this that I haven't already said about Aetherdrift. We've known since early concept art that this will be a space-themed expansion, and because we don't have 3 set blocks anymore, this is yet another new and unexplored theme, setting and world for Magic that has to be fully covered, realised and executed in a single expansion. That's the reason I think that so many sets lately have felt like Magic just playing dress up with existing characters by putting cowboy or detective hats on them, because relying on memes and genre tropes is a quick shorthand to express to the audience what a set is supposed to be about, without actually having to take the time to establish the plane or storytelling on its own merit. We're only here for one set, and most of the audience has been conditioned to not care about the lore anyway, so let's not bother going too deep into anything interesting about the place, or giving its themes and ideas time to breathe and fully seep into the players' imaginations before the release schedule moves everyone on, and we're all asked to forget it regardless in favour of spoilers for next year's new and shiny cards. Are we going to take time to narratively set anything up or pay it off? No, we don't have time, but don't worry, look, it's Tezzeret as if he were a spaceman, and that will just have to suffice. And that's it, we're done. I will try and be more positive next year, but looking at this lineup, I wouldn't hold your breath. Let me know in the comments your thoughts for the upcoming sets of 2025. And I'll tell you what, wish me a happy new year, regardless of when you see this. I promised I'd try and make this video 10 minutes, I suspect I failed, but just in case I'm under, I'll leave a long pause after the credits to make up the time just so that I've kept my word. But if I'm already over 10 minutes, then to save time, I suspect I'm about to get cut off mid-sentence. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you to everyone who supports me, like Eggboy, the particle that permeates all existence, and the rest of my patrons whose names are on screen now. I'd also like to thank the sponsor of this video, me and my Patreon page, where you can get your name credited on screen too. Check it out in the link in the description below. Hit the like button, leave a comment, install an ad block. For real, you should install an ad block. Most importantly, subscribe and share this video with a friend. Hit the notification bell and do all those things the algorithm loves. If you agree or disagree with any of my points, or you want to see me do a video on another subject, let me know, and I will see you in the new year. Time read, remember, no tangents. Aetherdrift can also huff farts because...